Hey guys, what's up? It's MatchPoint here, and in today's video, I'm going to be giving you the ultimate 2020 guide to playing support in Rainbow Six Siege. So if you do find this video useful, consider dropping a like on the video. If there are any topics that you would like me to cover next, make sure you do comment them down below so I know you are interested. If you do end up having any questions about the video, or me myself, feel free to ask me them when I am live on Twitch on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, or in the Discord, which is another great place too. If you are new around here, welcome, and I hope you enjoy the video, so let's get on into it. Now this guide is going to teach you everything you need to know about playing support in Rainbow Six Siege, and it's going to iron out a few of the misconceptions that do go around. Now before we do get into it, I would just like to tell you that KD doesn't matter at all. KD is completely irrelevant in a game. It's all about what you're doing for your team. There are many other stats that go into account, and as well it's about how you come out with that win, which is why support players are a needed role on your team and are absolutely crucial. Now if you do need a guide for entry fragging, which is another role that you can play when attacking, I have covered one and it will be a card in the top right if you do require that information. Now we are going to be doing this in a chronological order, so I will walk you through of what you should be doing as a support player, iron out all of the misconceptions and give you examples of these operators. Now for starters, we're going to be starting off with the droning phase. Now as a support player in Siege, when you're going to be droning in the prep phase, there are two options what you can do here. The first one is going to be that you'll drive your drone all the way back to spawn, let another teammate go ahead and drone out that site, and you can save your drone for the extra intel. As a rule of thumb, I would always recommend the 4 other players setting up their drones in their specific positions that they need to, and the 1 other player droning for the site. Now the other option that I haven't mentioned yet is going to be you can set up your drone in a vantage point, or you can set it up as a flank drone. Now a big misconception that some players do have is that a support's role is to simply at the start of the prep phase to go ahead and drone their entry fraggers into the building. This is not the best idea. It's very easy for an entry fragger to simply set up their drone in the prep phase in their entry point at the starting bit and move on from there. Now this is when the support player comes in. The support player is going to set up their flank drone or the vantage point for their drone where they're going to be positioning it for their entry fragger's route. It really is going to depend here on where the entry fragger is going to be coming in from and overall your team strategy for that round, but I will give you many examples so it can apply to multiple situations. The entry fragger should drone himself in from his entry point. He should always have it set up, quickly flick on his drone for a second and move from there. Now the support player can set up their drone in a flank point so that they can cover their entry fragger's back whilst they're clearing the other room. The entry fragger isn't going to need a drone being 24/7 with him guiding him around the map. The best idea here is to position your drone in a point where it can cover your entry fragger's back on the route that he is going to be going down and clearing the site for your team. Let me give you a very quick example which I did use in the entry fragger guide, so it will kind of apply onto that, and if you watch that video you'll understand it even more. If one of your goals here is to apply pressure on Snowmobile Garage from above and use that vertical play, then what your entry fragger should be doing is clearing the main lobby, rooms surrounding it when they're going to be coming in. Now as a support player you can very easily set up your drone in a point where it can cover that whole lobby area and the top. Now this can be used to go ahead and check if there's going to be a roamer or a flanker coming from above that the entry fragger isn't able to see. This is what you should be doing as a support player. Droning is going to be a very effective skill for being a support player. Now it's impossible to cover every area, which is why it's important as an entry fragger to check your back multiple times when you need to. Now after the droning section has been completed, you have the top control, you have the map control that the entry fragger's gone and gained. Your next goal is going to guide the push into site. Now what I mean by this is assisting your team with what they need to get done. For example, opening hatches that need to be opened, any soft destruction that needs to be opened to get into site, as well as opening that main breach on the garage wall, for example, if we are going to be looking at that. Now vertical play isn't going to be the most common push and the pressure point that you're going to be using when attacking on Chalet in Snowmobile Garage. For example, opening that main wall on the garage is going to be a key area and a key push. Now you could combine both, but it's going to waste a lot of time here. Instead, there's no need to drone your entry fraggers out in the prep phase, as you are going to be instead opening that main wall for your entry fraggers. This is an alternative option. Like I did say, I'd give you another example as not every situation will be perfect. And like I said, you can drive your drone back to the spawn point where you're going to be spawning in if you are doing this push, as you'll have an extra drone for that intel. Now again, entry fraggers could be pushing from tunnel, coming in a different direction to apply more pressure to the site, which is a great option here. Now after this, your main goal here is to go ahead and clear the utility on the site. Whether they have deployable shields down, whether they have barbed wire, whether it's a mirror, your next job is to take this out as a support player. Essentially, you need to completely clean the site out, and as well, what you also want to be doing is droning, checking for the intel, giving it to your team, the entry fraggers, so they can act upon it and make their move. When you've cleared out that utility, and as well, you've also made sure that you've got the intel that you need to make your push in, the next job is to go ahead and plant. A support player should be carrying that diffuser 9 times out of 10, and then you can go ahead and screen the plant for your team, creating a wall of smoke so that you can get that plant down safely whilst your team are covering. Now, if you are unsure on what that term means of screening the plant, I have covered it in a guide where I covered 5 misconceptions that players are making in Siege, and there will be card in the top right. Now on to the final section of the video, which is what operators are supports. Now, like I did in the entry fragger guide, I'm going to be giving you a few main operators that are more commonly the support ones. Now, these operators are going to be ones such as Thermite, ones such as Thatcher, and as well, there's also going to be Nomad. Now, the reason why I've picked out these main 3 is because you can divide them into different subcategories. For example, Thatcher is obviously going to be assisting with the hard breach, and there are different alternatives to that, such as Kali, for example. The same with Thermite, you've got Ace, you've also got Habana. And the reason why I've picked Nomad is for that utility aspect, and as well being able to cover and dominate that map control. As well, for the subcategories, you could also have an operator such as Twitch. Now remember, some of these are going to be able to play different roles. For example, Habana could also be a fantastic entry fragger, as well as Twitch, whilst she can be a support operator, a great entry fragger. You've got to remember that. If you do require any other tips and tricks, whether it's ones for Steel Wave or operator guides that are on the channel, I have covered them, and there will be an end screen at the end of the video with those guides. And that is going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you have all enjoyed. If you did, or you found this video useful, then make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe for more tips and tricks like this. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.